What up, everybody? It's Khaled and we have this week's breaking news wake up alert. This week we talk about Nick Cannon is back to host the Wildin' Out after his summer firing. Now, rapper Lil Uzi Vert gets surgery to put a $24 million diamond in the middle of his forehead. Meanwhile, House of Representatives exile Republican Representative Marjorie Greene. Donald Trump quits the Screen Actors Guild. DJ Khaled and Fat Joe, they announced a joint OnlyFans, while Young Thug has a message for NBA players trying to steal his girl. Cardi B drops a new song Up and talks album delays. Jake Paul drops a poem for Floyd Mayweather. And not bot, not beast, scientists create first ever living programmable organism. Let's talk about it on this week's Wake Up Alert.
From a different fabric. Now my life going up, butterfly doors. Butterfly doors. Now my life going up, butterfly doors.
We're back with this week's Wake Up Alert. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and share this video and get the news out to everyone. If you're watching this from YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook at lovefirstentertainment.com. Nick Cannon reunites with Viacom to host Wildin' Out. Now, Nick is set to return to the show when season 16 resumes because the network says he's not only apologized and taken responsibility for his comments, but he also worked to educate himself and others through engagement with Jewish leaders on his platforms. As reported, Viacom, the parent company of MTV and VH1, fired Nick last July after he made anti-Semitic remarks on his Cannon's Class podcast. While talking with Professor Griff, formerly of Public Enemy, Nick said things like,
"We are the Semitic people. When we are the same people that who they want to be, that's our birthright."
Now, Nick later apologized and, as Viacom noted, consulted with Rabbi Abraham Cooper, who said Nick was apologetic up front, but more importantly, he listened when Cooper explained how some of his perceived facts were actually hateful and harmful propaganda. So we're glad to see at least Nick Cannon is back on MTV, and they're not doing it without him. So shout out to Nick, get that bag. Now, in more news, Lil Uzi Vert gets surgery to put a pink $24 million diamond in the middle of his forehead.
Where is he getting this money?
Now, in the span of 24 hours, Lil Uzi Vert got a $24 million diamond implanted in the middle of his forehead, became the talk of social media, argued that the diamond is centered when people told him it wasn't, and allegedly encountered a brush with death after his fresh piercing started bleeding. The 26-year-old rapper posted more photos and video content of his outlandish new jewelry acquisition, which he says he's been paying off since 2017. At one point, Uzi must have moved it the wrong way because it struck a nerve, prompting him to bleed from the fresh piercing. Of course, instead of seeking medical help or calling the surgeon who implanted the diamond in his face, Uzi went straight to Twitter and posted a picture of himself with the blood running down his face. So obviously we're living in a different world. It really doesn't sound like the safest thing for Lil Uzi because people have chopped off hands and heads for less. So to have that sounds a little crazy. We pray that you're safe. It sounds like he wants to be, who's that Marvel superhero?
If Vision was a real boy.
If Vision was a rapper, a trap rapper. Now, in more news, the House exiles Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from congressional committees. Now, blacklisting the first-term Georgian for endorsing the executions of Democrats and spreading dangerous and bigoted misinformation, even as fellow Republicans rallied around her. The House voted 230 to 199 to remove Mrs. Greene from the Education and Budget committees, with only 11 Republicans joining Democrats to support the move. The action came after Mrs. Greene's past statements and espousing of QAnon and other conspiracy theories had pushed her party to a political crossroads. The vote effectively stripped Ms. Greene of her influence in Congress by banishing her from committees critical to advancing legislation and conducting oversight. Party leaders traditionally controlled the membership of the panels, while Democrats and Republicans have occasionally moved to punish their own members by stripping them of assignments, the majority has never in modern times moved to do so to a lawmaker in any other party. In emotional remarks on the House floor, Ms. Greene expressed regret on Thursday for her previous comments and disavowed many of her most outlandish and repugnant statements. She said she believed that September 11, 2001 attacks absolutely happened and that school shootings were absolutely real, after previously suggesting that aspects were both staged. Now, I do find it to be an interesting precedent that we should be watching out for. I mean, the things that she wasn't saying, that she said about Democrats and some of the things that they call conspiracies are not real, may not necessarily be right, but she did make a lot of these statements before she got elected. So to see that she got elected and now she's being held accountable for things, it does set a weird precedent. So no matter what side you're on, I think that that's something that we should look at. And it does look like an advancement of cancel culture. Not saying that she's right or wrong, but just looking at we need to be careful with cancel culture and holding people accountable for years later and later, So that's news on that. Let's talk Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump quits America's Screen Actors Guild after it launched a disciplinary hearing into him, citing the U.S. Capitol attack. Now, the former U.S. president's response was, "Who cares?" adding that the union has done nothing for me. "Thank you," was the Guild's brief response. So, due to that issue, Donald Trump has quit the Screen Actors Guild and says he doesn't need them. Let's see how that goes. All right, let's talk about DJ Khaled and Fat Joe. Now, they officially have started an OnlyFans together. Now, let's give you some more insight on that. Now, the website has shot to relevance in the last year, hosting sex workers and celebrities alike who have made a quick buck sharing exclusive content during the quarantine. While some public figures have used this platform to share intimate photos and videos, others have debuted new music and hosted live stream with fans on the website. DJ Khaled and Fat Joe are the two latest superstars to join, announcing their joint venture. Now, as announced on Instagram, DJ Khaled and Fat Joe will be using their OnlyFans to deliver motivational and inspirational talks, guiding fans to the light and sharing uplifting insights. Additionally, they will be posting behind-the-scenes footage of their personal lives as they often play basketball together, share meals, and hang out in the studio.
Whoa.
I know some of you guys are used to OnlyFans in a different way. Fat Joe and DJ Khaled say they're here to change the game, and they want to use it for inspiration instead of what it's been used for before. Now, while he's doing that, Young Thug has a message to NBA players that he feels are trying to take his girl.
If you a ball player and you try to talk to any hoe that I'll talk to, you still my brother.
Fresh off the release of her new single, Up, Cardi B opens up and talks about conquering fear and her album delays. Now, though such a big day might have been exciting for one artist, Cardi admits that constantly dealing with unyielding public pressure has impacted her outlook on even the positive career milestones. "I haven't been able to eat," admits Cardi when asked about the lead up to Up's release. "I feel like it criticized a lot and scrutinized. So it's just like everything. I always feel like I've got to be super, super perfect. I'm a Libra, so everybody's opinion always counts to me. My last song was very sexual, so I always want my next songs to be different than the one before," she explains. "When I started rapping, when I first put music out, like my mixtape, this might sound crazy, but I got really inspired of drill Chicago music. I was young and I liked that and everything, so my mixtape was very all about gangster violence. If it's up, then it's stuck. That's where I wanted to take with this record. Though many have been patiently awaiting her sophomore project, Cardi has reached an interesting conundrum, one that tends to plague artists who's raised expectations off the bat. I really wanted to put out an album last year, but it was like, I feel like I don't have the right song," she admits. "I've recorded so many songs. I think I've got like 50 songs recorded, and I'm just still not satisfied. If I'm not satisfied, I'm just not satisfied. But I really want to put out an album this year. I feel like I have no choice now. Now, I feel like I exceeded my limit of holding. I just need to stop with the fear. So Cardi B says she's over her fear. She will be dropping some new music. Now, she did drop Up. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think about Up? Is it a good follow-up to WAP? Are you excited about the album? Let us know. In more music news, another superstar female rapper, Meg Thee Stallion, drops a video for her song Cry Baby featuring the baby. Now, let us know what you think about that song in the comment section below. Okay, more news that you probably didn't hear from the mainstream media, but in the previous stimulus relief package that former President Donald Trump signed, it actually had something in there requiring that all the national intelligence agencies report all the information they have regarding UFOs. Now, when President Donald Trump signed the $2.3 trillion coronavirus relief and government funding bill into law in December, he began the 180-day countdown for U.S. intelligence agencies to tell... Let me do it over. When President Donald Trump signed the $2.3 trillion coronavirus relief and government funding bill into law last December, it began the 180-day countdown for U.S. intelligence agencies to tell Congress what they know about UFOs. Now, the Director of National Intelligence and the Secretary of Defense have a little less than 6 months from now to provide the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committees with an unclassified report about unidentified aerial phenomena. It's a stipulation that was tucked into the committee comment section for the Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 2021, which was contained in the massive spending bill. That report must contain detailed analysis of UFO data and intelligence collected by the Office of Naval Intelligence, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, and the FBI, according to the Senate Intelligence Committee's directive. It should also describe in detail an interagency process for ensuring timely data collection and centralized analysis of all unidentified aerial phenomena reporting for the federal government and designate an official responsible for that process. Finally, the report should identify any potential national security threats posed by UFOs and assess whether any of the nation's adversaries could be behind such activity, the committee said. The submitted report should be unclassified, the committee said, though it can contain classified annex. A spokesperson for the Office of the Director of National Intelligence confirmed the news to the fact-checking website Snopes. So, we're keeping you updated on your latest news. Should have more information on the UFOs by June 2021. Stay tuned for that. All right, now last but not least, the robotics and scientists have announced they have created the first ever programmable living organism. Now, this week, a research team of robotists and scientists published their recipe for making a new life form called xenobots from stem cells. The term xeno comes from the frog cells used to make them. One of the researchers described the creation as neither a traditional robot nor a known species of animal, but a new class of artifact, a living, programmable organism. Xenobots are less than 1 millimeter long and made of 500 to 1,000 living cells. They have various simple shapes, including some with squat legs. They can propel themselves in linear or circular directions, joined together to act collectively and move small objects. Using their own cellular energy, they can live up to 10 days. While these reconfigurable biomachines could vastly improve human, animal, and environmental health, they raise legal and ethical concerns. Now, they raise concerns about creating a new life form, about playing God. It seems like we're all playing with fire. Sounds like something that could be off the next Terminator movie. So I would definitely be keeping our eyes open and watching out for that.
More Star Trek.
Star Trek, Terminator, either way, Armageddon. That's what we have for you this week on the Wake Up Alert. We'll see you next week. And make sure y'all tune in for the latest Love First podcast.
Dear Mr. Mayweather, who runs your Instagram? They need to get paid better. Do us a favor and stay off of social media. You should focus on learning to read, retirement, or maybe an encyclopedia. You call me out to fight, but you're half my height. You might beat my brother, but Jake Paul is a different type. Fuck your proposition. I don't do exhibitions. We can fight on my conditions. 50-50 commissions. Oh, and we haven't forgotten you tried training Nate to beat me. I left him unconscious on the canvas. Let's hope you're not that easy. A quick NBA knockout. He's never boxing again. Speaking of NBA, who knocked up your daughter, my friend? After I KO Askren on Triller, April 17th, I would love to fight you, Floyd, and punch you in those fake veneer-ass teeth.
McGregor!
What up, everyone? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell for the latest podcasts, music videos, and comedy skits. We got a lot more content coming your way.
We here all day, baby.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel, baby.
Yeah. We gotta show love first like a podcast. Put the work in, trying to make it last. Seen enough deaths, I don't need no more. It's like our nation trying to start a civil war. We gotta show love first like a podcast.